Well, as we have been reporting, Attorney General William Barr is threatening to cancel his appointment to testify in front of the House Judiciary Committee this coming Thursday. The dispute apparently is over who questions him. Well, one member of that committee joins us now. She is Pennsylvania Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean, who also serves on the House Financial Services Committee. Congresswoman, welcome to Fox News Channel.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Of
course. Well, the Department of Justice, we're told, that it objects to both the Democratic and the Republican counsels of the committee questioning Barr after the traditional questions from you guys, the members. And they also apparently object to plans to go into executive session if you start discussing redacted grand jury testimony. So with all of that, do you think that the Attorney General will show?
I have no idea, but I do know that our Judiciary Committee takes very seriously our duty to complete these investigations and to speak to Attorney General Barr and to get the facts before the American public. And I believe it is our independent decision how we run our committee hearings. So I fully support our committee's plan to have individual members question, to have our counsel question. And of course, the purpose of going behind closed doors is if there's anything that is confidential, that is grand jury material that we would actually need to be able to talk to Attorney General Barr about. I'm puzzled by Attorney General Barr at this point suggesting he will not show. And it's puzzling because we see that across this administration, including the president saying he doesn't think the members of his administration should honor the subpoenas. What do they have to hide?
Well, Barr could say you guys are trying to change the rules. Do the counsels usually talk to people who are witnesses after members of Congress in your committee when you have your hearings?
Historically, that has been one of the committee formations, so it is not without precedent. And also, we are a co-equal branch. We actually get to determine fair rules for the operation of our committee, and the purpose is singular: to get all of the information, before the American people. Because let's take a look at what the Muller report showed. It showed sweeping and systematic interference by Russia in our 2016 election. It showed the president and his contemporaries publicly welcomed that interference. And of course, it also showed multiple circumstances, more than 10 circumstances, where the president, instead of saying, we have a serious problem here, please investigate this, where he actually obstructed justice. We have every responsibility at this grave time in our history to hold this administration accountable.
Well, those 10 that you cite, for example, the claim that McGahn says that the president called him to fire Mueller, those are allegations. Yeah. And the president denies that he did that. They're not proven.
Well, we don't know that the president denies because he didn't cooperate. He didn't come in and testify. McGahn did come in and testify. And he testified not only that he was asked to fire, but then was asked to lie about being asked to fire. Can you imagine that? Another member of Deputy National Security Advisor, K.T. McFarland, was asked to falsify a document. It's just stunning, the interference by this president with this investigation once he realized he was under the investigation. Well, you have to go no farther than Judge Napolitano, who said that we must go forward with our investigation because it appears that the president has been operating out of self-interest. His behavior shows that he's operating out of self-interest.
Judge Napolitano. Sorry to interrupt, but of course the Fox News legal analyst. And the president, though, says what the committee is doing is a quote political witch hunt. Here's what he says about the investigations on Capitol Hill.
We gave 1.4 million documents, if you can believe such a ridiculous thing. 500 people testified. We had 18 people that were Trump haters. That includes Mr. Mueller. He was a Trump hater.
I'm talking about
wait a minute.
Congress,
Wait.
Then he testified.
With all of this transparency, we finished. No collusion, no obstruction, right? Then I get out the first day. They're saying, "Let's do it again," and I said, "That's enough. We have to run a country."
So as the president says, his view, he thinks the Democrats are trying to sandbag him, or is this legitimate and appropriate congressional oversight of the executive branch?
I'm confident. I think the American people are confident that this is important this is oversight over the executive. You know, in the large sweep of history, I'm pretty sure what will not be remembered is the number of times this president has said no collusion, no obstruction. They will remember the cruel, corrupt behavior of an administration that tried to cover over their behaviors of obstruction. And again, it is about the faithful execution of his office. We do not see that, and the Mueller report shows that he is not exculpated from obstruction of justice. In fact, there's serious evidence of obstruction, and more than that, the president himself failed to cooperate with this. It's puzzling to me why Attorney General Barr has so mischaracterized the president's behavior in this. Why is he carrying the president's water? It seems to me that the Attorney General has poured away his own credibility in buckets by trying to offer the president the cover of no collusion or some sort of exoneration. There is no exoneration. Special Counsel Mueller said if he could so say, he would say so. But instead what he said is, I am obligated to preserve for the future, at a time when perhaps this president could be indicted once he is out of office, the testimony, the information, the facts, and the data, so that they are before the American people. That's what I think my job is as a member of Congress and as a member of the Judiciary Committee. So I look forward to Attorney General Barr coming before us, and if he doesn't, we'll make sure that we use our subpoena power and the justice system to make sure he comes and talks to the American people.
Congressman from Pennsylvania, Madeleine Dean, Democrat, member of the Judiciary Committee. Of course, the president has vowed to fight the subpoenas. He did answer written questions to the Mueller investigators, but we'll see 4 days to determine whether the Attorney General will show up before your committee. I expect this will be a huge story with a lot of anticipation this week. Thank you for joining us here on the Fox News Channel on this Sunday, and we will have a lot more news coming up. We will be right back.